What's up, Chicago? Styles and Roman, we are out here at the Blue Cross Blue Shield Performance Stage. He's chilling in the middle. Make some noise. Zedd is in the house. What up?
Yo.
What's up, man?
Yes.
Everything's great. How are you guys?
We're doing all right, man. We're doing okay.
Life is pretty good for Zedd. It's got to be good to be Zedd these days, right?
It's busy, but it's great.
Right, of course.
Because I never work, because I get to make music. So
Exactly, right.
That's
So
the good part.
Yeah, you look at it that way. So you're never working a day in your life because you're doing what you love.
At least I'm telling myself that. Well, of course, it's awesome to be able to do what you love,
Yeah.
but there's, of course, also the days that are really stressful where you have to be in the studio for 24 hours and get on a million phone calls and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the good days first. I mean, I don't know. You roll up to Las Vegas, you bring a little laptop, you play some music for about 3 hours, you get paid hefty, and then you have all the girls in the world standing right there next to you, right? Is that how it goes in the life of Zedd or what?
Well, there's a lot more work to it than just.
No, I'm not talking about the work thing. Let's talk about the girls who are trying to creep up the whole time. The
He didn't just
groupies.
get hired because he's a good-looking guy. He's got a musical background that got him to this
And
point.
you know, you have to, right before I go on every time, I have to look for new songs.
I thought you said look for new girls. I was like, yes, I love Zedd already, man. I like brunettes, I like blondes. But no, yeah, you got to look for the new songs. So what is like the hot music right now that you feel like moves the room right away?
That's a good question, because you could think that, you know, that deep or deeper house movement is really what people like. But I think, at least for me, and I think that's different for every DJ, I like, and I've always been like that, I've always thrown one or two songs that are different into my sets. And they work really well. I play like maybe two deeper songs per set, one trap song, one dubstep song, one a little bit of everything. I think it makes it a lot better. It's kind of like with my album. There's one pure club song on the album, and when you listen to that song in context, it blows you away. But if I had all club songs, it would feel like they're all boring.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear you.
And I want to kind of clear the air about you for a second, because would you call yourself a DJ, producer, or everything?
I would call myself personally a musician.
Musician. Okay, that's what I want
if
to
I
get
could
to.
pick.
People don't realize you're a classically trained musician.
That's how I started. Yeah.
Right. I mean, so there's some stigma to EDM where it's, guys
Sure.
just turning knobs and DJing, whatever. You are a classically trained musician. So how did this classically trained Zedd get into this type of music?
Well, by going through every single genre there is. I've started with classical music when I was 4. And when I was 12, I wanted to do something my parents for sure did not want me to do, so I started being a drummer in a band.
Oh, great.
That felt like a good move.
Yeah. Well, we got a drum set right here. Do you want to show off some skills?
I can.
Yeah. Right. Just show off a little bit, huh?
And then I did a little bit of jazz, a little bit of rock, a little bit of metal, and then I like trying things that I haven't done before. So I started producing electronic music just for fun, and I loved being the boss, When you're in a band, you kind of have to make sure everybody's happy,
Right.
which
Yeah.
means everyone is 66% happy, but not 100% happy.
Right.
So I enjoyed being the only one to have like the decision over everything.
Yeah,
That was
in
a
the
lot of
band of Zedd is the head of it all.
Hey, that would be great.
Yeah,
I would
right.
love
There's
that.
only one member of
Right,
Zedd.
one member.
That's my band right now.
Exactly right.
So
that's
let's
what
talk
I'm
about that. How did we come up with the name Zedd?
That is really boring. You still want me to answer that?
Yes, we do.
No,
No, we do.
Let's talk about the girls again, the groupies that come up
I
on the
wanna know,
side.
where did Zedd come from?
Well, in actually almost everywhere aside from North America, or even just the United States, the last letter of the alphabet is Z. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
Z. Even in
Really?
Canada, even everywhere.
Wow. Okay.
So my last name starts with a Z.
Okay.
Yeah, with a Z.
Okay. Yeah.
And because I never thought I would be a DJ, producer, or successful or anything. I didn't even want to think about my name, so that was my nickname. My buddies gave that to me, so I was like, yeah, whatever. They will know it's me.
There's one guy who's like, yo, you owe me 10%. I named you, you owe me 10%, man. It was my idea. So let's talk about for a second. I wrote down a few of these artists that you worked with. I don't want to mess this up. You actually had Lady Gaga just call you and to ask if you would produce, 3 songs on Art Pop?
Yes, she called me and I couldn't.
Was she
pick
like,
up.
hey, Zedd? And you're like, hey, lady?
No, because I couldn't pick up because I had a show. I was on stage.
Oh,
She's
really?
busy, man.
Yeah, I'm busy,
Gaga
man.
calls.
So what are you doing?
She
You're
goes
like,
to voicemail.
You're a DJ and you look at your phone, you're like, Lady Gaga? What the
Well, if I had the number before.
Right.
No,
right.
she called me. Like I said, I was on stage, and then my manager called me afterwards and said, hey, by the way, Gaga just called you, and she wants you to produce her album, and she told Jimmy, who was the head of Interscope, that he should sign me. So now I'm signed, and I worked on her album.
Thank you, Gaga.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you,
Lady
Gaga.
Gaga.
Thank you very
But
much.
it's not just Lady Gaga. It's also Justin Bieber, Ariana Grande, just to name a few, Selena Gomez, Ellie Goulding. I mean, come on. I mean, you're working with all A-list artists right there. Is there anybody that you haven't worked with yet that you want to work with?
there's a million of those, and I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure you guys could be very helpful. You guys could
You
make
want
the
us? You want us to
connection.
call some of them right now?
Yeah, who do you want? Who do you want? I
Well,
got-
you know, we
I think I
can
have
tweet
Jason
them.
Derulo's number. That's it. I mean,
Hey,
that's all.
there you
That's all I
go.
got. You want Jason?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll call him.
Let's do
All right.
Jason. I mean, there's from Adele to Katy Perry to bands like Muse or
Mhm.
Radiohead, or there's so many
But
artists.
the
okay,
thing
I'd
is,
love to work with.
all the artists you name too, it's not just like top 40, artists. Like you're naming, Muse. You're naming other artists that are
Well,
like.
think about one of his biggest hits, "Stay the Night," was Haley from Paramore. I
Mhm.
would have never thought Haley from Paramore.
See, and I want that reaction because I like when people, or I like to pair myself with people that people think wouldn't, this wouldn't match. Like
Yeah.
Logic. I don't
Yeah.
know if, everyone's familiar with Logic. He's, in my opinion, one of the best rappers
We love Logic.
in the
Big-
world.
big fan.
And, it might have sounded weird that we would collaborate, or Axe Ambassadors as well, as a band as well. And I like doing that. I like collaborating, bringing genres together, and bringing
So-
my own genre forward, hopefully.
You've given us a
Definitely.
paintbrush of artists you do want to work with. If a genie came down and said, you get one wish granted, who's the one artist that you get to work with that you want to?
I would pick Adele.
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 I
Great
think so.
voice. Great voice.
That'd
Fantastic.
be
voice.
amazing.
She's
Yeah,
busy
I'd love to
rolling in the
see what
deep
it
right
is.
now.
What
so.
is she doing now? Where's she been?
Well, I think she's doing a new album, isn't she?
Is she doing now?
Well,
She,
that's
did
what
she have a
I heard.
baby? She have just baby?
I don't know,
She
but
did.
she had throat problems for a little bit. I think she rested for a little bit and maybe a baby, and now
She's ready to be back, and maybe
She's
even
ready
do
to
some
be back.
There you
collaborations.
go. There you go.
Adele, she streams the show all the time.
Adele.
Adele.
She's a big fan. She watches.
Please.
This is the
Please.
guy right here.
If I ever call you, please pick up the phone. Don't be me.
She's like, I'm at a show. Sorry, I'll
Yeah,
get
sorry.
back to Zedd
So
later.
we are only a couple days away. May 19th, True
That's right.
Colors is going to be out. Actually, we
Right.
have Cindy Lauper. She's on the phone right now. She wants to know why that you are calling it True Colors, the name of the album.
Did you get that
Well,
joke,
look-
by the way? Did you get that joke?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, yes, I did, because she has an
Cindy
The
Lauper
song,
has
yeah,
a
sorry.
song, yeah, True
Colors. Song, okay.
Sorry, that was a
I
bad
will
American
explain.
joke.
I'll try again. I'll try again. I'll
No, that
maybe
came
a
up
little
a
better
couple
next time.
times. I was like, what? And now I know. Well, there's two reasons. There's the song True Colors is the title song of the album, and that has two meanings as well. Well, obviously, the one meaning is showing someone your true colors, showing who you really are and what you are about. And that is also what my album is for me. I realized while I was making the album, it was really about making an album, as in terms of album and not in terms of compilation,
Right.
throwing 10 songs on a CD and selling that. So I wanted to show people all sides of me. I wanted to show the one that they know. I wanted to show the sides that are in me, like the acoustic side, because I have been in a band and played lots of instruments in my life, and I, for the first time, had the courage to make the title track a song that is almost fully acoustic and doesn't even have a kick drum.
Really?
It doesn't.
All right. Now, you wear a bunch of different hats, and I mean, obviously, when a Zedd song like Clarity, I believe you won a Grammy for that song, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
That is
I mean, so when it's
amazing.
when you being the artist, and you are you super proud of that, as opposed to a song like you did Beauty and the Beast for Justin Bieber, and it wasn't necessarily for him, but it ended up with him, and then you watch that song become a hit. Are you more of a proud dad on a song that you just produced and another artist, or no, this is my song, I'm on the charts, boom?
I mean, of course, it's nice if people know that, it's you that made the work. Because a lot of the times people don't know who actually sits in the studio for weeks and weeks and works on the song, and who doesn't spend that much time on a song and gets a lot of credit.
You know who does know? The publishing checks, they know.
They-
who spend all those times.
And your bank knows when your bank account keeps on growing.
But
and
anyway,
growing.
I gotcha.
But then the flip side is, I really do enjoy making a song for someone, just like Beauty and the Beast is a great example. I made that song. It did not fit my album. I still loved it, and I got to work with Max Martin, who's one of my heroes, on making the song for someone else. And then I don't get judged for it either, because sometimes you feel like you're in a box that you didn't put yourself in, and people say, well, but why is the song acoustic, or why is this halftime you're EDM? You're like, well, I never put myself in this box. So when you make a song that you just truly love, and you give it to someone, and he gets all the fame and everything, but you're kind of happy that people just like your art, that can be really nice too.
That's awesome. That's
And
really
we
cool.
talked about a couple seconds ago that you did win a Grammy for Clarity. Where is your Grammy right now?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
It's in my closet.
I think the Grammy wants to
Actually,
come out
let
of the
me-
closet, actually.
It's in a wine cellar.
Okay.
I don't drink wine, so I'm trying to
So you
make
put a
this
Grammy in there.
shoe room.
Yeah.
And while the shoe room is, being worked on, I'm decided that.
So are
that's
you a
good
big fan of, is gym shoes? The shoe room
gym
you said?
shoes? Well, it's a wine cellar that is becoming a shoe room, because I
Great.
actually use shoes every once in a while.
Yeah.
Don't use wine. So I
So
thought
you
it
wear
was a good
shoes.
idea. I don't know
What
if
you're
that's a
saying
good
is you wear shoes, but you don't drink wine.
That's
I get
correct.
it. I get it. I
That's
get
what I'm
it.
saying.
I
So,
like it. I
so
like it.
far in your musical career, I mean, can we say that the Grammy was the pinnacle so far, or something was better than that for you?
Or is right now where you're sitting? Is this the pinnacle
is this the highlight
right
of
now
your
of your career?
Top 3.
Okay, good.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
made it.
But I think the Grammy was a very important moment for me, whether that being the best or not. You know, I played Red Rocks, one of my favorite venues, and just staying on that stage is an incredible moment. I think even not winning the Grammy but getting a nomination
Really?
is a really special moment. I remember that
Where were you?
I was in Sydney, and I was about to go on stage, and my manager emailed me right before I went on stage, and my mind was like in between LA and Sydney at that point.
Yeah.
And I just think even though Clarity was very successful at that time, you still feel like nobody knows about your music for some reason. Maybe because I have been making music forever, never had success, and I just got used to it. But when you get a Grammy nomination, you feel like actually there's someone out there that did pay attention to what you do and, you know, appreciates your art, and that's a very, very great moment.
Yeah. Now, you love the fans. We can tell this because with the album coming out soon, you have this thing all over Twitter, hashtag Zedd True Colors. So in Austin, you kind of have like a scavenger hunt. In Austin, you took your fans cave exploring. LA, you guys went to a desert bonfire. San Francisco, I love Alcatraz. You actually had some fans sitting in a jail cell in
Yes.
Alcatraz while you were playing the new album?
And in complete darkness as well.
Is it really?
It's kind of scary.
Because the title...
Well, there's no more prisoners in Alcatraz.
mean,
It's
yeah,
been closed for years.
Don't worry about that.
We're
But,
good
it's-
now.
it's
We're
the-
good.
It was the black song, so I felt like listening to it in complete darkness was really creepy in a great way.
Yeah, definitely. But now you're doing it in Chicago.
That's right.
So we haven't done it yet,
Nope.
but can you give us any clues or hints of what's going to go on here
Does
in
it
Chicago?
involve pizza?
Well, let's not say that, but I can say this is going to be one of the most beautiful events.
Really?
Yes.
Are you just saying that because you're in Chicago right now?
You will agree with me after the event.
Okay.
All right, there
Cool.
you go.
Very, very cool. Now, growing up, what did you? I was like asking artists this that aren't from here in particular. What did you, when you heard Chicago? What did you think of when you were a little boy? Like, was it anything, or was it just part of America, or whatever?
Well, since I'm from Germany, it's kind of hard for me. It's all one thing. For
Right.
me, still, there's 3 cities like LA, Chicago, New York, and
Right.
it's like a circle.
We
America.
made the top 3 though.
It's like
We're in the top
we're
3.
right in the
learning
middle.
about
We're chilling right
geography
here.
over here. But the meaning of Chicago changed a lot for me since I started touring here. I've played a lot of shows here, from really important festivals for my career to New Year's Eve, which I played at the Aragon.
Yeah.
And those 2 shows were some of the best shows I've ever played in my career. So now in my mind, it's like, you know, Chicago, I connect with an incredible crowd.
Yeah.
Nice,
Well, you know,
nice.
I want to ask you this real quick. You know, like some artists, when they go on stage, when they're touring, you know, their voice may be hurting or something, so they'll lip sync a little bit. You know, and then like a lot of DJs as well. A lot of DJs may just hit play when they go on in front of a big, you know, festival like you just talked about. What is your opinion on DJs? And you know, you can even express it in your own, you know, words. But like, what do you think of people who think that some DJs just hit play and then just hit knobs the whole like hour and a half they're performing?
Well, first of all, I lip sync every show. I can say that. I think the reason why people think those things is because they are partwise true. You know, all those, I don't know, all the stigmas that exist, they usually exist for a reason. And there are people that make everyone else look bad, and they play, you know, press play and then just, you know, do their thing.
And you notice the mixer's not even plugged into anything.
Well, although I will say that, you know, it never happened to me where people accuse me of not DJing live. But a lot of the times when the sun is shining on the equipment, you really don't see anything. And if someone snaps a picture, it looks like it's not on.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, my photographer who shot like Ultra and a lot of other festivals, he actually then exposed that all those DJs were DJing live, and then everyone's like, me. You know. But
All the gossip.
I don't know. To me, it's a matter of it's the fun part about DJing is doing this live, and you know, being able to make a mistake as well. Sometimes I try to avoid them as much as possible. We run cables to front of house so they see what I'm playing, so they're not surprised by, you know, if I go crazy and play something.
But it
totally
shows that
stupid.
you're real. You know what I mean? If you mess
Yeah,
up
and
or goof up, it
like
shows that you're real.
Tiesto, he I think pressed the wrong button and the music stopped in the middle of the festival, and he's like, well, at least you guys know I'm doing it live.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's
Right,
really-
right.
I think it's nice.
Yeah.
There's something human to this, you know, technology of doing something live. It's totally fine.
And a lot of the knob press play guys or whatever, they aren't classically trained, which is why I wanted to bring that up for you, because that's really, really cool. Like, you are an actual musician. You're not just an EDM artist. I read an interview with you somewhere where actually you don't even almost like to embrace that term EDM, because you are a producer of all kinds of music, not just EDM.
Yes, it's difficult because I never thought I'm EDM. To me, I was in a band, and then I started producing my own music, and you know, it started sounding electronic. I was inspired by Justice for the most part, and I tried to sound as good as them because they, to me, were some of the best. But still, most of my music, I should probably mention that is written on a piano. Like my entire album Clarity still exists, every song in a piano vocal version. So then for me, it's like, well, I wrote the song as a song, and then it became electronic. But in my mind, the core, for me as a musician, is what you write down on a music sheet, and that's not EDM. It's music.
Yeah.
You know what? We got to do it right now, man. You got to tell us the craziest groupie story that you have, either getting off the turntables or while you're performing. Any girls jump up on stage? Anything ever crazy happen to you, or what?
Nothing too crazy. I mean, the normal things you would hear of, getting bras thrown on stage, hitting
Nice.
me in the face.
Not a bad-
There's one about to happen right now. DJ Meg, throw your bra up here. Come on.
Come on now, we got a camera. This gotta happen. I can't say that and not happening. Nothing, honestly, nothing too crazy. I think some of my DJ friends have much better stories. I'm not gonna say anything.
Right,
about
right.
All right, tell us those stories.
That's the thing is like you seem like a laid back,
Yeah,
kind
you
of
seem like
almost
really-
like a classy dude. Like like groupie stories, like you LMFAO, you figure are like alcoholics going crazy, whatever. You are a put together like classy dude, which I don't see the raging out of Zedd as I do some other artists.
Which is the complete opposite of us.
Hey, both words are great. I think we're really, when we're on tour, you would be surprised how grandma we are in
Yeah.
terms of. I'm very involved in the show, which means that I'll probably have a couple interviews during the day, but then as soon as I'm back, I will be just with the team working on the lights and fixing lights and programming stuff. And then right after the show, we try to take off as quick as we can. We go back to the bus. We watch the show together so we can, see what we can do better for
Critique
next
it.
time. But man, we're maybe play some computer games and back to bed.
There you go.
the,
Well, you're
the rock star life, baby. Computer
Yeah.
games
No,
in the back of the bed.
So let's talk about it right now, man. May 19th, you can get the album, True Colors. Tell everybody out there right now why they should go and grab your new album.
All right, so if you guys, this is the camera, right?
Yes.
This is the camera. The
Right
camera.
there.
If you're a fan of music or if you're a fan of having a good time, if you want to listen to winter, summer, spring, and everything you can imagine in one album, I can promise that that's what I try to do. It's a journey. I would not recommend listening to 1 or 2 or 3 songs at a time and maybe shuffling them, because a lot of the songs are actually connected and meant to be listened to together. And sometimes I will introduce the melody from song 6 and song 5, with a string, and by
Yeah.
the time you hear the song, you feel like you're already familiar with it. It's a movie, and when you watch a movie, you don't go to scene 12 and look at the action scene, and then that's it. So, if you give it a chance, I will promise you will probably like it.
I'm sure we will. Now, the single that we're playing right now is I Want You to Know, Selena Gomez. Other artists on this album that we can expect.
Yes, well, there's a lot of great collaborations. I mentioned Logic and
Yeah.
X Ambassadors earlier. I worked with Echo Smith, an incredibly talented and super
Those
young
are cool
band.
kids.
Very cool
Ah, I get
it. There you
I'm
go.
here on that, guys. Thank you.
There's John Bellion, there's Troye Sivan, which, I'm really excited about that collaboration. There's a lot of amazing artists. There's singers that don't consider themselves singers and don't want to be famous and don't want to go to a restaurant and be recognized, and their name is not featured. But once that changes, maybe I'll
Right.
mention who that is.
Right,
But
right.
phenomenal artists that I would have never made this album by myself, because if you hear me sing, you will probably leave the room.
Yeah, same with me.
That's why I lip sync
Same
live.
with me, yeah. That's why I lip sync too. But I'm going to guarantee you right now, because she is such a fan of watching us all the time on the stream, that Adele will be on the next album.
Yeah,
Adele,
absolutely.
I would love that.
That'd be awesome. That'd be
Done.
really, really cool. Well,
Even if we don't release it, if you just make a
yeah,
song.
just for
Yeah,
our
right?
iPods, whatever. It's
Yeah.
cool.
And then we'll release it afterwards.
True Colors comes out May 19th. Zedd, thank you so much for stopping
Thank
by
you
with
guys.
Styles.
Zedd
and
Zedd in the
pleasure.
Wonders.
house, Chicago.
Thank you.